move my mic a little bit over. I readjusted my mic stand. I feel like I need to do that again because I feel like it's just a little bit off of where I need to be. Let's try and move this real fast. The arm thing is just like, I feel like it's just slightly under the angle to get in the best spot for me to talk to people to see. Anyway. Someone give Asta a hug. What's wrong with Asta? Asta's pretty much good. I mean, he's doing like what, like a training chapter. He's getting ready to do stuff with Ki and learn this new Ki technique. I don't think there's anything really that like detrimental for him, is there? Is there anything in this chapter? Because I know there's like the part where there's like a moment where he like thinks his training and his hard work and stuff, and there seems to be like some kind of like very short like emotional thing going on with that, which is fine, but like I don't think that's that crazy that like we need to give Asta the extra. Let me turn the music down. I feel like it's a little loud. What's up, Bashizura? How's it going? Finally a stream I'm on. Well, luckily we're doing a stream today. We'll probably do another one maybe like this weekend, but this weekend we'll probably do one more focused on maybe play some games, maybe play some more Blade Assault. I might have my capture card set up. I'm going to try and do that either this stream or later tonight to, I guess, just generally try and get, like I said, get a capture card set up. And I'm not 100% sure about stream playing through the game or recording it and uploading it. Like, I'm kind of very on fence with it. I guess it'll come down to the members. If you want to get some more members who want to come watch, since they're the ones that are going to be more directing it. I guess maybe for the first one for Pokemon, I could maybe do like that. And then, because a couple games I want to play is one I really want to play through. I want to play through all of Kingdom Hearts again on stream, and I haven't done it. I haven't played through all of Kingdom Hearts since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I want to do the same thing for the new God of War games. But I gotta get a PlayStation again. What's up, though, Ashizura? How are you feeling today? I already talked to you, but I just didn't have any response. Let me see. I gotta post up the stream. I'll send out a quick tweet about it. We'll talk about obviously what's going on. Sadly, Fairy Tail is on break this week. I don't think Eden Zero is on break. I'm trying to think if there's anything besides Fairy Tail that's gonna be on break, but like Fairy Tail on break is gonna be rough because it's all the way to like the 19th. We essentially have like a whole month that we have to go without it, and I don't think there's I can't think there's been any times where we've had this long of a normal gap. Have we had any other parts in like in the serialization for 100 Years Quest where we've had like a time off? Because like they've put chapters out on Christmas. I know they've put out chapters on general holidays. I can't think of any times where there was otherwise a skip. But I'm not too mad at it. One of the people on their team got COVID, so I assume they're good now, and hopefully they'll get the chapters back and going. The only thing that has me really worried is I don't want Dogromag's fight to be done already. Because it's not so much as like I don't want him. Well, one, I want the fight to be longer, but two, I want to see him be in his dragon form longer than his humanoid form because that's his actual body. That's what he actually looks like. That's his actual form. It's not like Irene, where Irene's dragon form was something caused the dragon slaying magic, whereas her human form, even though it was weaker, it was how she actually was and how she learned how to fight and like how she specializes in her enchanting and stuff. So Dogromag, even in his humanoid form weaker, the power gap, plus like he should be more comfortable in his full size, full body. We'll see. There could easily be one of those chapters where because of maybe like COVID and stuff, they wanted to wrap it up and kind of just push. I hope not. I'm really hoping they just like it doesn't need to be 10 chapters more. I think we can easily get 2.5 chapters on the Dogromag fight, and that's including, like I said, flashbacks and stuff. So really just like say the next 3 chapters, 2 of them collectively are fighting chapters, and then 1 of them is collectively like information, lore, and stuff. That would be great. I'd be pretty stoked for that. What's up? I hate Power 45. How are you doing? Oh, hold on. Dog wanted to come in. She's gonna end up fighting for my cats. One second, I'm just gonna drink some water real quick. Well, I don't think it's. I think it's like Naruto doesn't have kind of really long fights. Well, the thing about it will confuse me is it'll feel very similar to Misaki, where Misaki went down and it felt really weird because it didn't feel like her fight was over. It doesn't have like it didn't have the same kind of conclusion feel to it. But I don't know, maybe it is because of like the COVID stuff, and then maybe they kind of just want to rush through it. But again, I hope not. I like Dogramag. I'd really like to see some more of him. Maybe Mishima's gonna do the go along the pathway that where Dogramag doesn't die. Maybe Ignia shows up and saves him and carries him out of there, and then he's able to survive. I'll be happy about that, because like that's to me the only way that I can really see Dogramag surviving. I'd say, quote unquote surviving, because if she stays, they're either if Dogramag stays, they're either gonna kill him or I don't know what else, like become pretty much a captive of Selene, because Selene's the only character I think that can pretty much hold him there indefinitely. Whereas if we get Dogramag getting saved by Ignia, it'll do a lot for Ignia's character and show a lot there, and I'm very much for that. I'm really hoping we get a lot of good content with Ignia, and we've got a good amount so far. And I think through Dogramag, I think him being a really good key component to showing Ignia's more, again, not human side, because obviously he's not human, but more just like more of like a grounded side, I guess. He's got one person that he's cool with, one person he considers a friend. I think it'd be really cool if like later, if Dogramag lives, if we got to a later arc and we see Ignia like with other people, like humans or maybe some other dragons that survived in humanoid form, whatever the context, he's way colder, more aggressive towards them. He's way more vicious. He doesn't care. But then it's like Dogramag he's chill with and he likes, and he's just, yeah, whatever, buddy. I think that would be really cool. I'd like that. What's up, Crystal Sanders? How you doing? For me, Suzaku should be the one to get the final shot. I don't think so, because he got it with Selene. I don't think he really needs the final shot with Dogramag. There was no set personal reason that I think he should have. I was fine with the Unison raid. The only thing I would say is like I wish that he didn't go down as quickly, but maybe he is a Dragon Slayer, so maybe he'll get back up in a chapter or two. He doesn't have to be fully up. But, like, say later he comes in clutch just for, like, one more move really fast. He's able to just get to his feet in order to, say, like, Natsu's going for an attack and Georg's going to attack. Suzaku's able to just get, like, one quick slash. And it's not going to do damage, but it's just enough to really off Dogramag's footing and give Natsu the edge. Something like that, I guess. Character's been boring. I don't think it's been boring. I think the last couple chapters have been a little slow because I figured a lot of people were expecting more of a big fight with God Serena, whereas like God Serena was more like, it seems more like set up for later, but ended up just kind of countering and then pressing Gajil. The gray one started really interesting, but the problem I think with that one was Sai was just not a big character. Like, I kind of wish the side plot line happened halfway through the chapter where he was revealed and end on it, and then we got through it pretty fast in the next one. I don't know. Just because Sai's not a big character, maybe Sai will become somebody more interesting and give lore. I've already said, like, there's a good chance I think that he's going to be held captive and interrogated. I think that'll be worth it if so, because if we can get something after, like in the cooldown areas, where instead of it being, like, funny, some ship stuff, and the characters being goofy, if we get more of, some funny stuff, but more of characters are, pretty much giving out lore, they're going over whatever's happening, we can find out about, again, like Gold Owl and stuff like that, where it's not, crazy movements going on, but it's advancing the story with the pieces that we already know are on the board. Why is Lancelot this strong? The thing about Lancelot, because you do have to keep in mind, like, there's a couple factors. One, his dad is very powerful. We already know everything about Bond's story and, his whole stuff in Purgatory. But also his mom is a very high-level fairy. And on top of that, I gotta ask Quan this, and unless one of you guys know, how long did Lancelot spend in that spirit world? Was it like, because I can't remember if it was one of those things where it was months to years, or if it was because of the spirit time differences, it felt to him like a century or something. I don't know. But I mean, he's also a knight of prophecy, so he's somebody that is pretty much also aligned in the stars to be powerful, on top of clearly just being strong by himself. What bending would I pick? I always really liked firebending. Firebending or earthbending is probably one of the cooler ones for me, just because, like, imagine being an earthbender, and it's like you could just be a nomad, and everywhere you go, you just bend up a little hut, and you have a little place to live everywhere you go, and you don't even have to like build a door. You close the door, put an air hole in, and you're set. You have a little stone box to sit in. I think fire would be the coolest though, just because I would try and figure out how to pseudo fly, you know, do the little rockets, but not. I don't need some mega flame. You just try and condense it down. I wonder how difficult that would be. Like if it feels like you're, you know, pushing back against a force. Like it's like pushing up, like putting your hand up against like a hose or something. I quickly went from talking about Fairy Tail to Four Knights. Oh, somebody brought up a Four Knights thing. We talked about Four Knights briefly, and I thought the Four Knights chapter was pretty good. It's just the Lancelot level of power is just surprising to everybody. I feel because like I knew he was strong, but he like I don't think there's any doubt that he is easily the strongest out of the Four Knights at the moment. Like I don't think it's even close to what you would say. Like look at Meliodas and the other sins, but it's like when you look at say Percival and Lancelot, it's not even close. Like there's just a massive jump. Balance will be terrible. I don't think the balance will be terrible. I think it's just the other characters have to catch up. Because as just looking at the other characters, Percival, OP ability, no real training, no real experience. Pretty much the same thing with Gwaine and with Tristan. Tristan's strong, has experience, but he's not, like, he still has areas where clearly he hasn't mastered, like, his demon abilities, so he'll just lose control. So I would assume that if you took that version of Tristan and that version, and, you know, normal Lancelot, they can match level, but clearly Tristan doesn't have the level of control, and obviously being able to keep your mind clear and leveled is going to be really important, especially with a character who knows that you're pretty much going to be kind of crazy jumping all over the place. So it comes down to one of those two things. Oh. What else? Would you imagine for Black Clover what I choose? What would be like the coolest general magic? Because like I don't like the ones that are just like super OP, just like, you know, painting or dream magic. Those seem kind of boringly OP. I don't think it would be really neat. I like Mercury, but I don't really want Mercury. I don't know, what would be a really sick magic? I kind of like the I can't remember the Dark Disciple's name who had the eyeball magic, the little sniper dude. I thought his was really cool. I always liked his just as a low-key magic. Xenon's Bone Magic might be one of my favorite picks, because Bone Magic, I'd probably pick Bone Magic actually, because the thing about Bone Magic is, and it's something that I wish Xenon did, because like I've had it, it's not a me original idea, but it's something I realized a long time ago, is like if you have bone abilities, you get on top of like, you know, whatever general attack abilities, you can have just like a set defense increase, because bam, you just fucking you make your bones way harder. Bam, try breaking them then. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how to feel about Pino having overdrive. I don't think it's much of a problem. It seems more like it was a cheat. But for Pino, I think that personally, well, let me just say, I don't think that she got it strength-wise. I think it had to do with that cheat file that Ziggy pretty much left breadcrumbs for her to get to. As I think that makes more sense. If she found, just because of the programming, that maybe he left behind some form of cheat way to just burst her into, you know, EMP ability. Because, like, her EMP didn't even seem anything extra crazy. It just seemed more like, oh, no, this is one that's a specific frequency to you that you have designed for me. I wish it was more like Pino's overdrive lets her do that in general. Like, she could adapt to any machine, but it'd be, like, OP, but it's only, like, selective. Like, say Aknowilla was right there, and Aknowilla seems more like an android. But I guess Dead and Crow. But you know what I mean? Somebody's also very machine-like, but it's like, oh, she can't do both at the same time, but she can pick whichever one to specifically shut down. I think that'd be really cool. And then stuff like general machines and general ether gears, she can just shut down. But if it's some kind of like specialized, item that normally you wouldn't be able to get to, it's like, oh yeah, its ability is like a specific adaptation to a specific frequency of EMP ability. Something like that just really gives her a like an extra like real dagger to certain characters. But I don't know. I feel like with the way that a lot of the characters are, and it being so machine heavy, you can't go too crazy with that, because either you're gonna have to have not a lot of machine enemies after this, or this is just gonna be an easy fix. But I don't know. It's like Pino doesn't feel like Asta, where Asta with anti-magic, he's also a fighter. He can just jump right in most situations in the verse and being able to anti-magic his way out, where Pino's not a fighter at all. She literally has no combat skills. She's just got an EMP and that's it. Something about flying with fire. Yeah, I'd try that. Earthbenders can move with earth. Yeah, but I don't like the way they fly, where they kind of like float on the little rock. I don't think that's as cool. The only thing about that I would like is you could sit down. I feel like if you could sit down and then just like, chill. Maybe like, imagine it's like you bring your food and you're pretty much just sitting on a floating rock and you're just drinking and eating and you're just like, yeah, I'm flying this way. I think the way that Toph did that cool, assuming people will remember, it's near the end when, after she breaks out and invents metal bending, and she's like gliding almost on like this mound of like, it looks like soft ground. I don't know what I'd really call it, but it just looks like this almost liquid like thing of rock. Like it's flowing like water. I always thought that was a really cool way to move around too. But you have to actually move, like physically move. It just seems like a mega step. Like each step, instead of regular feet, you're getting like 30 to 40 feet, which is still good, but The Erasion, Interstellar have been trash. No hype to them. I don't think they've all been bad. Rather, I think it's about half, because Justice, and I guess it's really just two to three, of 2.5, because Holy is cool. I like Holy. I've really enjoyed her character so far. I like her design. I think her backstory's been pretty good. My only thing for her in question, I don't think it really needs to be, I guess the question is, like, what Mishima's plans are after this arc is done. Because one thing is he doesn't have it as, like, fluid as, like, the main cast did with the Fairy Tail. Like, even when they finished a plot point, stuff would eventually kind of wrap around in the story to pretty much involve them in some way, shape, or form personally to their own thing. Whereas we don't have that as much with Eden Zero. It does feel a little bit more kind of like, not the same thing, but for instance, like One Piece, when it's like you're going into an arc, I feel like Oda will have like if he's like, okay, I can show off 5 of them, Luffy's a given, Zoro's a given. So he's like, 3 members of the Straw Hats will, be really hyped this arc. And so he's got them all out. He picks which one, and then each one after that is kind of like pushed to a further out level of, whichever level burner. You get the back burn, you got the far back. They'll maybe get a side fight in the arc. That's kind of what it feels like to a degree, though, with Eden Zero. Not in a negative way, but I feel like just because of the length of the series, because we're already like, we should be well over halfway done. And I assume, like, I would say that if you were to divide Eden Zero into 3 parts, it'd be like, the first part would be around that, up until the Ziggy reveal. Part 2 would be up until the time skip. Part 3 would be probably like post time skip to whenever we finish here, because Ziggy, I feel like, is going to be like a big closing point on like a large part of the story. And then the last part would probably be once we get to whatever the end game is and whoever the big main enemies are. Which fruit in One Piece? Oh, if I didn't Devil Fruit in One Piece, I'd pick the Noro. I'd pick Foxy's. Because then I would work towards awakening and I'd be a slow man. And so, like, what I would do is I would just touch somebody and they'd be super slowed, and then I'd throw them in the ocean. I talked to some people with this. If I wasn't, it would depend. Because obviously, if I'm just I immediately appear in the One Piece world, but, like, I have the mind of a One Piece character, and it's like I've always been there, it's one thing. But if I get isekai'd and I have the knowledge, I'm going to work on, like, haki and stuff before I even think about a Devil Fruit. Like, I was telling people about this. Like, I would have, I don't know if I would have Conqueror's Haki, but like, just say Observation and Armor Haki, I would have those well under control before I even go out and start doing pirate stuff. That way, by the time I get to people with hockey, I've already mastered it. And by the time I get to people who've mastered hockey, I've already mastered my Devil Fruit and got Awakening. And that's going to be the plan. And then you get stuff like Skywalk. I've never understood why Luffy and people don't have Skywalk. When it's like, oh, who gives a fuck about the ocean? Just jump over it. Yeah, Slow Man. That'd be super cool. Imagine it's just like, you essentially would be like Lucius. But like what everyone thought Lucius did to Damnatio at the start. Where it's like, you'd be fighting. Imagine it's like you're fighting a guy who has precognition. And all he has to do is touch you. And your body pretty much just stops. And you're frozen for however long Foxy's frozen. And then you chuck him in the ocean. What would your character power-ups be? Or for the Slow Man, I assume it would be like... I would like to imagine that everything around me would just be like a little bit darker. Because it'd be like light particles would be slowing down to reach me or something. It'd be something really, just really neat. Deku going Super Saiyan. I like the new Deku form. I think it was cool. Pino becomes human. Do you think she'll be able to use her EMP powers? I assume so. Because the thing about Ether Gears is Ether Gears are more of like a knowledge basis to a degree of how they work, because what they're doing is rerouting the ether in your body to pretty much become a different type of ether. So as long as Pino knows how, that operates, I assume that if you were put in another body, you would still be able to pretty much pick it up just fine, unless there was something kind of like how in Fairy Tail only around 10% of people are wizards. And really quick, I'll jump through it real fast. Don't do the whole thing. If you're interested, if it's entertaining to you in this stream, if you'd like the thumbs up, the button, hit the thumbs up. Befriend the like button, subscribe button. Join the channel if you haven't. You do content on here, extra videos and streams and stuff. We're getting that all prepped up, and we're doing some game content for the members as well. I am going to be playing through Pokemon Arceus, and I'm very much looking forward to that because I've had it for like a year and I just have not played it. Not like an actual year, but I think I got it in like February, March or something, and I've just had it. I've done nothing with it, but I've been wanting to play it, but now that I finally have my capture card and my stuff set up, it'll be about time. Your power-up sounds like Mana Zone or Domain Expansion. I would definitely get Mana Zone. Domain Expansion is cool, but I mean, like, if I was in the Jujutsu Kaisen world and I did not have Domain Expansion, I would hate life. Like, that just seems like such a cool power to get. But it's like, if you get something really shitty, then it's like, wow, my peak is what... With this Domain Expansion, I have the ability to count backwards by 3s. Wow. What exactly is that supposed to help me with? Which evil anime organization would I join? Ooh, I'd want to be like a rare hunter. I want to go and harass people for cards. What's up, Happy the Assassin? How are you doing? What would your character transformation powers be? I mean, I want something really cool. One thing I will say is... I would like a form that doesn't show, and it's not because I don't show my face on the screen. Like when I play games, if I'm using like a character that has like an armor, I like the helmets that don't show your face. It's like a full visor. I just think it looks cool. I don't like it when it's like it has the slit and you have this badass fantasy armor and you just see these tiny little pair of eyes behind there, or it's like it just shows their mouth, and I'm just like, why? I don't want that. I want something really sick that obviously is gonna have a level of mystery and badassness to him. So it's like, yeah, I don't want the guy whose nose is exposed kind of armor. It's not for me. Having 100 quest chapters is gonna be rough. I know it's gonna be pretty tiresome, but at the same time, I'm gonna work on trying to get some videos out for you guys. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna work on my dragon slaying videos. I meant to do. I felt really bad when I didn't get them out when I wanted to. There was one video I really wanted to do and put it out at 777, but I'll put it out. I'll try and put it out soon. There's a video on Instinct I really want to do about Natsu that I have not done. And I haven't talked about it that much because I really want to keep it mostly a secret. I just haven't gotten to... I pretty much just haven't gotten to recording it for the most part. Because I know all the parts I want to use for my... Like, whatever panels and evidence somebody used for the ideas of it. I won't go too crazy into it. That's in Interstellar. We're supposed to be equal to the Galactica. They don't look like it. Well, the problem is like, the Galactica have almost all been fighters, except for Nero, but like Nero's whole thing was like he pretty much cheated with his military and stuff, and he actually could kind of fight with his dice. Whereas Eraser seemingly is just large-scale artillery. As we've been shown him so far, he seems more like he powers himself up, and he's able to pretty much wipe large general areas of enemies out, but it doesn't seem like he generally fights. Jaguar was a fighter. Feather is literally just a support buff. She just buffs fodder. Kira, I don't know how Kira would have fought because he just regenerates. Like, I wonder how he would have actually fought somebody, if ever. But yeah, I guess so, because it's like they just weren't presented, I guess, the same way as like boss characters, so it just feels really weird to me. I guess you can send a donate to our slow man. Listen, I appreciate it. Any form of donations, as I've said continuous times, are appreciated. They're not required. It's just always up to the people. Personally, I wish people instead to do the membership, because I really want to eventually get just like a good amount of people who are, you know, for like $1 or so a month, get like, you know, 40 or something collective people, and then that way I can kind of just have like a steady stream to do extra stuff on the channel and don't have to worry about it. Because like I'm gonna tell you guys, I was definitely I was in a very good spot if I wanted to just to stop doing stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the people adjacent to me that I communicate with on a regular basis about, you know, whatever anime weeb stuff have quieted down on their stuff. I've fallen back on a lot of my content over the last couple months, but I really want to get back to it. And there's a lot of really hype stuff coming up and a lot of stuff I really want to talk about. Because I want to do a lot of back content. Like, I want to do general character videos again. I want to talk about just people in the series. Like, I want to do videos on all the guilds, like in the dark guilds, talk about the members and stuff, talk about some of the weird stuff in the series that either, you know, we're kind of like things that we don't know whether or not they're going to be relevant again, like the Magna Carta. Is the Magna Carta ever going to come up again in something in the plot? Who knows? Eusebelius can be Asta, but the Demon King was beaten by control attack. I think that Asta, though, doesn't have the real capabilities to contend with Meliodas, because even if you think about it, Meliodas can get his darkness cut by Asta, but Meliodas' body is just durable because he's a demon. So Asta's anti-magic is not going to hit Meliodas the same way, because the way that he's able to damage so many people in Black Clover is because anti-magic pretty much just nopes through stuff like Mana Skin. So he's just dealing direct physical damage to these people, whereas Meliodas' body should be fine with that. I don't really see any reason that Meliodas couldn't just catch Asta's sword and then just start slapping him around, because he doesn't have his defense, and this is a big thing with like Natsu and stuff in Suit. His defense is not dependent on things like mana. It's not like Black Clover characters. A lot of them aren't that sturdy in terms of their normal body. Hiccup right there. In terms of their normal bodies, it has to do with how their mana skin works and supplying their supplying their mana with energy to pretty much keep this like layer than force field around their body up for like resistances and defending against magical attacks. I don't see it really doing too much against just Meliodas throwing hands. Been reading Kieran's dialogues. It's confusing whether to call him a Yellow Dragon Slayer as attribute is Thunder, like Stings or Lightning Dragon Slayer. Well, the yellow seems more like it's the title and not as like nearly as much the specific one, or if it's like he's going by the specific coloring. Because just going off of obviously what we know with Alexion, he should be a Lightning Dragon Slayer because Alexion was the king of lightning dragons. So logically, he would be a Lightning Dragon Slayer. I guess technically, if you want to say like Lightning King Dragon Slayer, I feel like that could have worked too. But for now, it's like what? It's just going to be doing stuff with, pretty much just doing stuff with him just being knocked out. I wonder if he's going to come back and do anything, or like what exactly the plot is going to be with Kieran. The thing that I'm very bummed out about if he does come back is he going to get a new coffin? Is he going to get something additional to kind of, to use? Is he going to have any other weapon? I liked him swinging the coffin around, and it's just like, what, he's got nothing now for it. He's just got his hands. Did you give up reviewing other series? No, I've just been busy, and I really wanted to get back onto Fairy Tail, and then I'm going to get back on everything. As I've said, I've just been a little busy, and I'm trying to pretty much get everything I'm going to play. My plan probably, though, is for other series, I might just kind of do them collectively in streams and stuff. That way I don't spend the time doing the editing and kind of just getting it all prepped up on the side. And I can just kind of talk about stuff in live. I feel like that's a better plan, though, for everybody, for my general channel. Because, instead of... Because, like, when when I was doing way more of the side series, I was doing like Undead Unluck, Demon Slayer, Mission Yozakura. I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did reviews on Mashal, but like stuff like that. You know, those would take me by the a 10 minutes each recording, 20, 30 plus minutes each. Just like waiting for them to render 5 to 10 on each thumbnail. I'd rather save the time for some of the smaller series just because, like, though I do enjoy them, I'm not as knowledgeable with them. So, like, when I talk about even, like, Seven Deadly Sins or Mashal or whatever, it's like, I enjoy them, but it's not like how I'm just going to be able to be pinpoint on stuff. I can't do nearly as much kind of building around it. And, you know, obviously, Fairy Tail's my favorite one, so it's way easier for me to also pretty much just talk about it in general. I'm focusing a little more on expanding the power system I plan. I gotta write some of my stuff down again. I've been really wanting to. I get where you're coming from, though. The commandment survived the attack? I don't know which part you're talking about. You talking about that one attack that they're using, or what? What is Monozone? Is the main expansion? Why do Justice look like some demons? Just like, wait, what? Monozone is Black Clover. It's just like you have like a bubble, but you're like manipulating the mana that's naturally around you. You're pretty much just doing like you're pretty much just saying like all this in this specific little zone is now added on to me. This is mine now, and you're pretty much just weaponizing that. Demon King made Demon Realm and has 2 moons. The thing is, like, we don't know how long it took. Like, the sins get downplayed pretty hard. The thing is, like, the thing about creation feats is it's the same thing as a destruction feat. You could take Magna. Think of, like, Magna's strongest fireballs. You put him in the demon realm. You say, you have 10 million years. Destroy it. He could probably do it. Where it's like, yeah, you have 10 million years. Make something. Okay, it's not like you're like, hey, you have 5 minutes. Destroy this planet. It's not. That's what people I don't think really get about when they talk about, look, he made a realm and stuff. It's like, we don't know how long it took. He's been there for literally millions and millions of years. He could literally spam, like, you could have had a void space, and it's just the Demon King, and he's throwing mountain level attacks every few seconds, and it's like he's just continuously spamming mountains. He's gonna be able to build the realm after millions and millions of years. Like, he's got the time for it. I don't think that he's weak, but I think that, like, when people use, like, stuff like that, it's like when they talk about the admirals messing with these, with Punk Hazard. Yeah, it took them 10 days. It was over the course of 10 days. So the only unit of time that we know that resulting for all this is 10 days. If any item you touch would turn into power, what item if item you touch would turn into a power? That's kind of hard. Like, any item I touch? Like, what do you mean, though? Is it like I touch a carrot and I have carrot powers? What type of sword and other video games do you want to see Asta using? So one thing I have been doing is I've been watching House of the Dragon is I've been getting more into lore, like the deeper lore, and I've been looking a lot into like the cool swords and stuff. I give him like Dawn and just give him that 6 sword. You can probably just eat the Lacrima and fix Alexa haunting issue. That'd be really interesting if he just picks it up and chews on it. I was really hoping that was going to be where their fight continued, is he just grabs that Lacrima and then just eats it, and then just starts going wild, and he just starts getting like way more powerful and just start going ape shit. If you can get something like that, that'd be great. Record the video and edit it live. That would take too long is the problem. What? I earned that one. Cure new coffin. Man, I have a Dracula inside. I'm gonna be so sad if he doesn't have another coffin. I really like this coffin. Karen with dual wield coffins. You're down for it. That'd be pretty hype. Slowman reactors. Thoughts on becoming a VTuber. But it's like, people have made that. Faith made that joke to me, but it's like, don't people only watch VTubers who are girls? Are there any guy VTubers? I don't know anybody who really want to, like, well, I just don't know the appeal. Because most of the people that go to VTubers, it's like, because they have, like, the waifu anime girl avatars. I don't imagine that the male VTuber market is that plentiful. I imagine it's just going to be low. One second. If you touch a fan, you gain the ability to create wind. Oh, so it's like that. I got some like Kirby. I don't know. I'd probably like get some rock and then find a spot where there's just ocean or cliff, and then just because like let me think about this real fast. Next Taco is a VTuber, but I mean like his is like he's got the avatar, but it's like didn't he have the channel way before VTubing became a thing? I don't know. I guess I would have to see. I'm like, like his channel's like fucking 20 or 30 or 100 times bigger than mine or something. I have no idea. I actually don't know how big his channel is. Isn't he like a 500,000 or something? I don't know. I mean, if I ever got to that point, but the problem is, I guess I mainly focus on one series. But I mean, like, if YouTube ever got to the point where I could do it more reliably, and I've talked about it a little bit before, I would do more stuff. Like, say I could quit my current job and match how much I'm making there, pretty much with YouTube, which obviously be difficult. But it's like if I could do that, I would. It's just not. It's not in the. I feel like it's just not a likely possibility. Lex Taco's a veto. Oh, you read that one. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like the. I feel like it's just a little weird. Not like in a weird, not like in a bad weird, but it's just like I feel like it'd be weird for me, just because I don't know. I feel like it'd just be super kind of fish out of water thing. Oh, dude, having a female. I mean, I feel like that's bound to happen, but I don't want a female avatar. Or a male avatar. I've played dudes in like all the games I play. I mean, assuming I get to make the character. I can't think of any time where I've purposely picked the female character, so I don't really know. Well, in character customization, if it's like a set character, if the character's cool enough. But to switch Steams, be well. I don't know if like, oh, you're gonna switch streams. Well, good luck to whoever stream you're gonna switch to, and tell them I said hello. Is somebody else like in the general area streaming, or is this just some other channel you watch? So I don't know if like Quan or Josuke or any of them are streaming. I don't want to end up streaming if they're doing it. I know Quan sometimes will randomly just stream for no reason. The other day at like, what was it, like 10 o'clock at night or 11 at night, he just started streaming. Nobody knew why. It was potentially a sign of being a serial killer. Is anybody else watching House of Dragon though? It's funny, I don't actually know anybody that's watching the Lord of the Rings show. I haven't seen anybody talk. Actually, no, I know Fades. I think Fades watches it. I think Fades is the only one I know that has seen it, or at least regularly sees it. I watched some clips. I didn't like it. It looked kind of mid. And on top of that, like the gap between them, and it's like you have House of Dragon, where you have the original author, he's on board, they're making it fit into the canon, they're expanding on stuff that is already there, but, you know, making it better, improving upon it. And then you have, like, the Lord of the Rings one where it's, like, not canon, they don't care about what Tolkien wanted, they're doing their own thing. It just seems to pretty much be they pretty much want to make a fantasy drama and then use this IP to the cheat pass up there. And it's just like, I don't want that. It's like, no. I want the canon, actual good project that improves the story, not some random one-off non-canon that just looks at it and it's like, well, you don't have to like it. It's not made for you. And it's, you know, the guy is like wearing a Lord of the Rings shirt, and then meanwhile the freaking Tumblr Twitter artist is super into the boy body whatever elf chick. Oh, you're watching House of Dragon, not Rings of Power. Yeah, I don't really know anybody who's watching Rings of Power. Rings of Power just doesn't seem very interesting. Like, what is the... I guess I would have to find somebody that actually watches. Because I was going to say, like, what exactly is the plot? Because it's like... What, we're just learning about the different rings? Well, not from the rings is from the Lego games. I mean, you're probably going to get a better grasp on the lore from the Lego games from the Amazon series, from what I've heard. Every reviewer who watches says it's minute best. Oh, for Lord of the Rings, yeah, I haven't heard any interest. Like, I haven't heard any cool fight scenes. I haven't seen any cool clips. I haven't seen any cool characters. I did see the opening sequence, and it's horrible. The thing is, like, the clips that I have seen, there's context behind them. So it's like, well, maybe a scene isn't as bad, you know, with the whole thing. That little opening clip where it's literally just passing by the characters is awful. It is, because this is like, what was the budget for this show? Wasn't it like 10 to 15 or something million, or like whatever, $50 million per episode or something disgusting like that, where it's like literally like a $500 million show or some shit? Isn't the money for the Rings of Power like absurdly high? Because that literally looks like somebody in middle school who was just slightly better at making a like a freaking slideshow than the rest of the students did it. Your Lord of the Rings knowledge only from the games and movies. I know the movies, and I know a bit of the extended lore. I don't know a lot of it. What's up, Sam Jace? How's it going? Like, I don't know the extensive area of, like, you know, talking about, what's it, Morgoth and all that stuff. Talking about Ungoliant, the giant spider queen or whatever, giant spider goddess. The biggest TV show product. Is it really? How? How is it $1 billion? Like, here's the thing. This is something that I know. I looked at this the other day because I was listening to, you ever one of those times where you're like, you know, there's an opening in your head, but you don't know which one it is? And I was thinking about a Black Clover opening, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it was opening 11, I think. I think it was 11. And so I was looking at it, and like one of the ones I wanted to listen to while I was doing it, so I was like, you know, I'll just listen to a couple of them, list my favorites. And there's the one from Black Clover, Squishy. And I was like, most of it is literally just color edited versions of scenes from the other different openings. There doesn't seem like there's anything new. It's like literally just scenes from the other openings with color alternated styles and clipped together. It's better than that Lord of the Rings show. And again, I don't know the full scale Lord of the Rings show. I don't know exactly what's going on in detail. I don't know everything. I can't say anything about the clips. But you can't take the opening sequence out of context. It's an every episode. It's literally just the opening credits. It's like literally like $30. It's like literally like a $30 level of budget. It looks awful. And it's like you have Rings of Power, and it's like literally it's just like a character who just looks around for a second, and you have their name, and then the next one, and then you have like it was from the same style as Game of Thrones, but still is that replica board where it's like all the pieces are moving and you just see everything kind of going around and all the different houses and sigils and banners, and it's just really cool. It just gets you hyped for the show. You see all these pieces moving in it, and then you just see like this stale character set of these guys walking by. It's like, how do you fuck up that bad? Did you read the Black Clover leaks? They seem very interesting. Anti-magic kung fu. I don't think it's gonna be kung fu. I think it's gonna be more like Asta's gonna be able to, like, say he does, like, imagine he does black slash again, but instead of it being the black slash we saw, it's like 50 times bigger. And it's just like he's able to put out more of his anti-magic. Like, say Asta's anti-magic was 100, and every single time he does an attack, it's 5. But after this, he's able to drop a 30. So he's just able to put out more in general large-scale attacks. Scullion and Gray will never be relevant. Well, I guess like Gray will definitely be relevant. I'm very confident that Gray will come back and have you know, obviously more important stuff. Like Gray is a main character, but Scullion's obviously like he's in the weird spot, and it makes me a little sad because I really like Scullion. Scullion is probably only second to me to Suzaku in terms of like my favorites with Diablos. I wish Georg didn't get squashed. Maybe through flashbacks Georg will rise up, but like Scullion, I think is just really cool, like design, all that stuff. But again, we don't know. Maybe Mishima wants to do stuff with them post this arc, and we'll see him in the next arc, or we'll see him skirmishing, battling with the Fairy Tail members. Don't know. Grand Scullion, time will come. I hope so. Maybe like if they clash and have some sparring. House of the Dragon has the advantage of being more focused on where the budget is, so they make the look beautiful and necessary, not so much. Well, the thing is as well is that, like, legit, they have George R.R. Martin, directly on board with like the writing and the stuff in the story, and it's canon. They're taking events from the story, all the stuff with Viserys and Daemon and Rhaenyra. Everything is going on leading up to the Dance of Dragons is in the lore. We're just getting like a much more visual, expanded upon display of that. Whereas the Rings of Power, they said it's not canon. It doesn't follow Tolkien's vision. It's just the people who are writing it are pretty much taking this IP and writing their own story in the verse. And I can guarantee you, like if I found some like Lord of the Rings expert who's like who can match the same level of energy that I can do with Fairy Tale Lord of the Rings, and you put him in front of the Rings of Power show, I bet you they're going to be able to just notice all these errors and problems and stuff that doesn't make sense. Like there's probably like why does this character wield this weapon? They're from this area. They shouldn't even have this type of sword or whatever. Stuff like that, where it's just gonna you're only gonna notice it if you have more knowledge on it. But like once you're more than just kind of like casually not really caring watching it, you'll start to see the cracks and stuff. And it's one of those things that I think is always apparent when you have a writer or a director working on something that you're not passionate about. They don't care about the project. Like, for instance, the guy who did Dragon Ball Evolution, I think it was like he just got put on there because he was Japanese. I think he didn't even know anything about Dragon Ball. So then it's like you have a guy who, doesn't really know much or care much about what he's doing, and then it turns out awful. Where it's like, what's a recent movie where it's like a guy, somebody directing it was like a fan? I'm trying to think of something. I know like Sam Raimi. He was like a big. It's not recent. I know he was a big fan of the Spider-Man movies before he made. Pretty much directed the Tobey Maguire ones. But stuff like that. Obviously, having passion for whatever the project is going to make you care. Like it's going to put way more effort into it. Like somebody who, say, for instance, doesn't know anything about Judge Dredd would probably be like, maybe we should take his helmet off in the movie, like fucking what they did with Master Chief. Where it's like, if somebody, or I guess like Master Chief is a good example. Somebody who knows about and like cares and loves Halo versus somebody who probably doesn't. You put him in the scene where they said, hey, turn around, we're going to take your helmet off and show your face. Whoever actually likes and knows about Halo says, no, you're fucking not. Keep that helmet on. Don't you look this way. Because it ruins something that's important to the lore. Not the lore, I guess. The fandom, rather. The fandom's vision of the character, rather to say. It's weird. It's like watching Mario and Luigi talk. But it's like, there are instances of them talking, but one of the whole things of Master Chief is you don't see his face. What's up, Kinmano? How's it going? How are you doing? How's Peaches? Almost the Diablos are the only in Kyria. Only Kyria? I mean, like, definitely a bunch of them are going to come back and do stuff. I feel like Haku, I think for sure is going to come back. Because Mishima very much has always had a bias towards his funny characters. Whoever's the goofy one, he's always had a little bit of that lean. So I assume Haku will have a little bit more presence. Misaki, I don't know if Misaki's going to, because it doesn't seem like Mishima likes her. Unless Mishima is like, the whole fight with Urza was to set up conflict and something with the story later, I don't see any reason to suspect that he's going to do anything with her, because it doesn't seem like he really cares much for her. Mandalorian doesn't take off his helmet, so why did what did the Chief? Oh, I think it's the guy who directs Mandalorian is like a Star Wars fan. Like, it's just one of those things. That's how he knew. That's why the Darksaber is in there, I believe, is because he actually knew about it in the expanded lores and stuff. So this plot ultimately accidentally killed all our protagonist dragons, and they hid their souls into their kids. And it was, they said, they were much weaker, yet Igneal to Akno's entire arm. What do you mean? But not much weaker. Well, he only took his arm, but like Aknologia wasn't fighting seriously. We know that Aknologia wasn't fighting all out. Igneal just took a spot for him. Sent it me a new computer to monitor. Oh, nice. You know, the new computer's pretty hype, man. Congrats to you. This one. Why did a weaker, already dead Igneal take it? Already read this one. He just Aknologia just didn't take him seriously. He wasn't fully on guard. Is that comment? There are two specific comments. One is when Igneal said that Aknologia was stronger than he usually thought. So that means that whatever power level that Aknologia was at initially, that Igneal believed he couldn't handle it himself, that Aknologia was actually higher than that. And on top of that, we know that Aknologia hadn't gone all out from when Zareth and him went and talked.
So even at that point, we know that Akinlogi was still holding way back and wasn't really putting in all his effort. Hakuto forgot about him, about Misaki. I hope for high tier dragonification. I'd be fine with if it's gonna be Misaki. Like I like Misaki's design. I like her magic, but it's like so far Mishima's done little to nothing with her, and she just doesn't have like she's cool. I'm prepared to like her if he ever does anything with her, but as of right now, it just doesn't seem like she has any plans. Kaji got Serena or Vienna's to make up for his role in the current arc. He was already brought into the arc, and like Gray, who was already part of the team. Well, the thing is, like, one, and I've said this, I think, was it last stream or last video? Either way, even if Godjill didn't get a win on God Serena, the fact he accomplished the mission is a huge W. Because that's what he sought out to do. And even when it was like, hey, he's getting away, we should go after him, Godjill's like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm here for the job. I got what I needed to do, done. I completed it. Thumbs up.
Imagine Misaki as a half dragon with dragon booba. Oh no, she was gonna go into her if she started using her dragon force, like we're gonna see her in the full dragon form. I think it would actually make. Here's the thing, I'm gonna do a video on this. I'll do a video on it. It'll be a short video, but I'll share it with you guys just because I got the video out here. Mishima did tease that there was something up and coming with Urza, but also Irene. What if, similar to what happened with Nibaru, like we have matchups again, like we have skirmishes matchups, whatever the fuck reason. Urza versus Misaki, round 2. Misaki's pissed. She's angry. She wants revenge. She doesn't really care about her well-being anymore. She's just Dragon Force. That's when Irene gets involved, because Irene is the only character we know of that can pretty much halt the whole process by nulling out their magic entirely and fucking with their ability to be a wizard. So I think that would make sense if she showed up to help Urza, but it's like, well, then what's the plan after that point? Is she gonna get a body soon? Demon Slayer, but in World 1 Europe, and demons look biblically accurate. I wish Demon Slayer like did more stuff in other regions with demons and showed off like different styles. Mission is destroying the orb though. Technically, he did as much as Plu. I mean, as long as they get the mission done, that's good. Plus, Plu's been destroying those freaking black orbs since the 90s, man. Overhead game that Acknowledge slayed Igneal originally because Igneal was fighting while protecting Ignia. Well, no, that wouldn't happen because like we know that Igneal wouldn't have even really acknowledged or found him. Male dragons don't do that. I really like my idea that Prime Igneal was just hundreds of years before Acnologia. Like, imagine if it's like Acnologia was like 200 or something years past Igneal being out of his prime and starting to decline. And it's like Prime Igneal could have defeated him. Because it's like you could say it's like you have, say, out of 4 placements. At the bottom you have the weakened Igneal. Then above him you have normal Acnologia. Above that Prime Igneal. And then space between Time Acnologia at the top. I think that'd be perfect. Because the other things, it's like, yeah, it's just one of those times and dates and places. Unfortunately, Igneal wasn't at his peak in order to take this guy on at the time, and because of that, it led to this. And that would be really cool, because it'd be like, if Igneal would be like, I'm never going to let that happen to me. I always want to be prepared. Like, I've been trying to be strong, so I never got caught slacking and you know, and not being ready like my father. The Demon Slayer abilities are based around guns? What? That'd be kind of cool, I guess. Smart eating victory, but it wasn't worth bringing him in this arc. Oh, it's set up for the next. It's set up for later. It's clearly set up that he's gonna have God Serena as an opponent with Gold Owl, and I think that Mishima is saving it for then, because I think it makes more sense for Godchild to have a big set of spotlight and focus in an arc with a Gold Dragon versus a Earth Dragon. Where are we at right now in this stream? Oh, fuck. I gotta restart my computer after this. Every once in a while, my screen, like, it has, like, a spasm where it, like, resets the entire display.
It doesn't like close anything, but it just takes a second, and then all my screens need like a quick moment to refresh, and it's really annoying. Think we'll get more time travel in Hunter's Quest? I don't want any more. Like it have to be very specific, and it's because I feel like the time travel plot lines are already out of the way. If you really like what plot line would work best for time travel now? Probably go for like 20 or something more minutes. Oh, my picture got all smashed. Hang on. You see this? It was full screen and it got moved over. Oh, it just got moved. I thought I got like condensed down and the image got made smaller or something. Do you like s'mores? I love s'mores. S'mores are amongst top tier. Ninja Prime was so strong that he could have been king of all dragons, not just the spicy ones. I believe that. Like, assuming that the idea is like he would be around that kind of high-end layer. Do you think that? What's this? Do you think Agnologia is a 5th generation? No, I don't think so, because he had motion sickness. But plus, I don't think that he would eat any of the dragons because he hated them. So I don't think he's gonna want to eat them. Black Clover Opening 7 is my favorite. Honestly, I think mine might be 10. It's like it used to be 3, and I know 3 was like the first big hype opening for Black Clover. It's between 3 and 10, but I really like 10's whole like piano style setup. I want Eden Zero content. I mean, just show up in the streams and ask about Eden Zero. I'll talk about Eden Zero too. I thought it was funny. It was like JK Network was calling me a fake Eden Zero fan. I don't know why. Somebody got mad at me the other day because I said that Feather and Cure were bums and they were just lame. And it's like I'm not gonna slander every character in Eden Zero, but it's like Feather literally did nothing except for pretty much be a measuring stick for Shiki to be like, hey, I don't have to even really fight to beat you. I can just lock you in place. And Cure just came out of nowhere and was like, hey, I'm the bad guy, and pretty much died. Like, he was lame. He was super lame. I like Ziggy. Ziggy's looking really cool. Connor is looking like a G. Dude's over here banging all these hot chicks. Apparently he got Saint Fire Nox at some point. Big W for him. What happened to Eden Zero reviews? Still, I've just been a little busy, unfortunately. EMP Skiers have the... Oh, no, so it's not... It wasn't just an EMP. She had an EMP with, like, the knowledge of the specific frequency for Ziggy. Oh, let me fix the picture so you can see what he's saying. This is something. He's got to get in here his laugh. You have 2 curse techniques. You have 2 days of Isukuna. Which will you choose? I mean, like, nothing in there in the Jujutsu verse beats him, right? I guess, like, well, I would have to use that one dagger that, like, shuts off powers, I guess, and then what the freaking Panku box. Gagio beta titanium win. I don't want to be titanium. I want something crazier. I'm trying to think. I mean, eat a meteor. Get a space medal. One thing I'll never get is why Gagio Iron Dragon, why not steel or stronger metal? Oh, it's dragon iron, so it's pretty much by itself already better than natural irons. But I think that it's something obviously that can get evolved from the standpoint of iron that makes it special. But I mean, it seems more like just generally metal because he's eaten different metals besides iron. Yeah, I could use some time travel during the times when she was relevant. If only. Like, you command Connor's balls. Keep that in mind. That's true. That's very true. So one thing I was thinking about is I wonder because Connor obviously, like, he's older. Like, he's got white hair and stuff, right? Because Rebecca, how old is Rebecca? Like, no, because the 3-year time skip. So she's like, what, 19, 20 now? I would assume that in his youth that Connor was like a fucking Chad. Because he's banging this hot chick who was like the leader of a damn cult. So she was hot and crazy. And on top of that, he's like the best ace space pilot in the series. It's like, it legit is like being like a mega race car driver in real life. You are not just a race car driver. You are a mega race. Like, imagine if they combined monster trucks and NASCAR. And then you had is Dale, I don't know enough about, I wish my dad was here. He knows a lot about that. He likes NASCAR. I can ask him. I think Dale Earnhardt, was he like the greatest NASCAR guy? Either way, that would be Connor. He'd be over here just freaking slamming chicks in his damn monster truck. What did I say? Oh, yeah, Monster Truck and NASCAR. Connor's Han Solo. Dude's cool. The only thing about it is like people get mad about like the I would say definitely the parts where he was being creepy on Rebecca, but I think it was done more in like a dumb, goofy way. But I'd be willing to bet he was not aware that that was his kid at the time, because those were also way earlier in the series, where he had been around for fucking 10 minutes. Godzilla specifically mentions carbon from Torfus in terms of steel. Yeah, but it's dragon steel, because it's not regular steel. If the Dragon already couldn't cut Torfus's body, then just regular steel isn't going to do anything. It's like what Urza shows up. You don't even need Urza. Just like grab some random sword. Dale Earnhardt Jr. So I know there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. But wasn't Dale Earnhardt, isn't he like the greatest one, or is Dale Earnhardt Jr. he's like the peak in NASCAR? I only know a handful of NASCAR people's names, unless you count Lightning McQueen. If I can count Lightning McQueen, that's at least something. Godzilla can get poison iron or liquid metal. What would be really cool for Godzilla? Like a hack he could get out of metal. One, I would really like it if he could get gold. Like imagine, like it's not gonna be the same thing, but it's like imagine if he gets gold and he's immune to time-based abilities. Like not only it's like he can't age, but there's just a time where it's like if time stop happens, he comes into it, because it's like, oh yeah, well gold, because gold doesn't rust, it has all these things. It's like, well, gold dragons they can't stop time, but they have a connection to time that they kind of just are involved with it. I do think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be really neat to the lore. Who wouldn't lewd their... I don't know about that one. Disavow? Full phenomenal drivers, but junior better. Oh, good. Well, it's like his dad was... One of them was 88 and one of them's 33, right? I think. There's no other GOAT NASCAR, and all it's all subjective concerning the rules and technology change all the time. Well, I get that, but there's got to be at least like one person who's viewed as the legend. Like Michael Jordan is pretty much in basketball, and then baseball you have people like Babe Ruth. Stuff like that, where it's just like you have those guys that maybe they weren't, like if you just put them against maybe like the best now, it would depend, you don't really know, but they're at least seen as as the peak of the medium. Also, just real quick, I'll just do a quick show again, but I'll make it even faster. If you haven't yet, thumbs up the stream, prefer the like button, subscribe button, join the channel if you haven't, donate if you feel like it's been entertaining enough to earn $1 or $2, whatever. Not a big deal if you haven't, but I gotta do it every once in a while. Let's get a little bit of shilling out. Just talk about whatever's happening. I'm so bummed for these next... What's today? Hang on, how many... Is it 3 weeks now? I think it's the next chapter. Ugh. But luckily, between then, we're going to get... Let me pull this up real fast. Because we've got... Yeah, 2 weeks from yesterday. So another... Sorry, 3 weeks from yesterday. So another 20 days till the next Fairy Tail chapter. But we have... Normal, like, Eden 0, 4 nights every Tuesday. But also, it's Bleach on the 10th, and then Chainsaw Man is on the 11th, right? Or are they both on the 10th? I'll probably watch I'm gonna watch the Bleach one, like probably immediately, like as early as I can watch it. I'll watch the Bleach episode, but I'm gonna wait for Chainsaw Man because I want to watch Chainsaw Man with my fiance. She hasn't seen it, and she's thinking about watching it. And I'm trying to see if she wants to do any stuff for the channel. Let me give immunity to time magic. Natsu's immune because of his rebuilding by Zeref. No, it has to do. It's just an E&D thing. It has to do with his Aetherius powers. It's pretty much just like he specifically is able to do that. There's like 3 drivers who have transcended the spots. Who are the 3 people? Are they like if you took the 3 people that you mentioned, and if there was if you had the general fandom of NASCAR vote on it, it'd just be like whoever is at least widely seen as the peak, even if they aren't, just as Power Rangers, despite how many there are, Tommy as the Green Ranger, the original 6th Ranger, the original Green, is pretty much still like viewed by, I would assume, majority of the people who know about Power Rangers as the coolest one. Like, I think like most people probably would say that. There's just like because he's not even my favorite. I think the Magna Defender is way cooler, 6th Ranger. But That is my opinion. Either way, there's just that general kind of populace of like where they kind of see it. It's kind of like if you had each series, regardless of who your favorite character is or who you think the best is. Like if there's like, oh yeah, who does the fandom think is who's the fan favorite, pretty much. Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon. I forgot about him. I remember, like, I recognize the name. Richard Petty, I think I've heard of him. Jeff Gordon, I know, and Dale Earnhardt, I know. I don't, but yeah, I remember somewhat now. But yeah, that would make sense to me. I mean, even if it's like, you know, if they had like 3 equal spots, but you know what I mean? It's just like these are the people that if you think about, you know, whatever the specific things, it could be a sport, game, whatever. There's gonna always be those people that are viewed as like, you know, the higher ups, the top people, as long as there's some way for them to see it. It's Messi versus Ronaldo. It's pointless. See, I don't know who any of these people are. Ronaldo. I have no idea who those people are. Also, I'm gonna need everybody to, you know, if they can, use any of their stored luck. Send it Josuke's way and the people of Florida for this damn hurricane coming in. Hopefully they're all gonna be good and okay. Sumatran Mafia? What is Sumatran? I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't really know what it is. Jeff Gordon, he's a NASCAR driver. See, I don't know much about him. I only know him because my dad's really into NASCAR. Oh, my fucking screen decided to refresh again. I hate this. It's been doing this. After my stream, I'll restart my computer. I'll chat with you guys for a few more minutes, see what's going on. I just heard my phone. Oh, there it is. I was like, I thought my phone wasn't in here. And also, actually, let me do this really quick, because I have been forgetting. I've been forgetting frequently. It's consistent that I forget, but hopefully I remember. I'll put a link to my Discord if you haven't yet. Anybody wants to join. I really want to get my stuff all kind of like going and actually like set it up well and keep consistent. Because I want to get, you know, I want to get my Discord nicely going. I want to get like a decent amount of, you know, general episodes and videos out for the channel. And then eventually just kind of do extra stuff with everybody. Just, you know, just a little extra content to kind of like have some fun, maybe play some games, or, you know, if there's ever like a time we can like watch a movie or something in the Discord. I want to do that again because that's something I wanted to do, but I just didn't get my Discord up in time to do like little watch parties and, you know, watch whatever the fuck. How long will it take you to beat Quan on Hunter's Quest? Apparently I might have already beaten Quan. We'll see next chapter. Jungle Fury is peak. I like Jungle Fury a lot. The problem with Jungle Fury was the later portions, because the writers, there was like a writer strike at the time, and that's why later portions of Jungle Fury I feel really weird. Like, what was it, Daishi just kind of gets written really fast at the end. The Red Ranger, is it Casey? He never gets his battleizer. There's a lot of like weird just jumps later on that make Jungle Fury really weird. Jungle Fury's peak Power Rangers Galaxy fans. Oh, no way, dude. If you compare Lost Galaxy to Jungle Fury, it's not even close. The only thing that Jungle Fury, I would say, has in the large scope better is a longer direct villain with Daishi, whereas with what is her? I'm trying to remember. Was it Trakina? I think it was Trakina. She was really cool in the second half. After her dad died and she got trained, she came back super badass. I do not like even remotely think that Jungle Fury was within the same stratosphere as Lost Galaxy. I'd say Lost Galaxy is one of the better ones, up there with like, you know, you got like, well, I want to count original, but I feel like original has to be its own thing. Because original is great, but if you actually ever look at like, original Power Rangers has so many episodes that are not important at all, even to the Power Rangers plot. There are episodes where it's just like they'll just bring back an enemy and they'll just do it and it'll just be an episode, and they're using the same 15 minutes of footage for the rest of the 8 minutes of actual recording. Dude, I don't know how you say Lost Galaxy was mid. Like, you had some of the best Rangers in the entire series in that one, and you had, again, probably the coolest Sixth Ranger. Like, one of them. You also got, like, Eric and stuff with the Quantum Ranger, but the Magnet Defender was so fucking cool. And he was not having anyone's shit. He was just, yeah, I don't care. They're like, hey, there's civilians in that building. He's like, okay. He just starts shooting anyway. He's like, I got a mission to do. I gotta kill this guy. Any Super Sentai show in the galaxy? You're crazy, man. Am I the only Ninja and Samurai Power Rangers fan? Ninja Storm was good. I do like Ninja Storm. I thought Ninja Storm was really cool. What do you think? Right there. Question about Ninja Storm. Perfect. Yeah, I like Ninja Storm. I'm trying to remember because one of the main things I always try to remember who the Sixth Ranger is. Ninja Storms. Oh, Ninja Storms. Was Ninja Storms Cameron? Where he was the Ninja Storm Green. He had the freaking Shuriken helicopter. That was awesome. His was cool. I loved his. So there is an Orange Ranger in the lore. So there's a couple. But there's like there's one in the comics. Because there's like, oh my god, what's the dude's name in, I forgot his name in Power Rangers SPD. But he I think it was like he told his parents he was a ranger or something. And then when they show up, he pretty much fakes it, but he's the Orange Ranger, but they actually give him an Orange Ranger suit in the comic, which is really cool. And there's like some in the Sentai, but like we never get it in the English. For some reason, they just don't want to get into orange. I have for Ninja Storm 4, great game. That's good. Your YouTube supremacy of thinking you have taken YouTube from Quan. Quan's actually been pretty fine on putting his YouTube stuff out. Pink or White Ranger's his favorite? No, I mean, like, my all-time favorite probably would be Leo Corbett at Lost Galaxy Red. Like, he was just so cool. He was always my favorite growing up. I really... Lost Galaxy has also my favorite opening to any of the seasons, where there's, like, a couple episodes even before they get the Zords and stuff. Well, it's sort of Zords, the Galactobeasts and stuff. But with just getting to the Quasar Sabers and how, you know, he had that kind of, like, you know, Arthur style setup with Sword in the Stone. But how it's like there was a chunk of time before you got to that. And on top of that, it just as a really fun thing is they reused the costumes from Starship Troopers for the military outfits in Lost Galaxy, which I always really liked. I didn't realize that until a bit later, but like even growing up, I was always just really confused because like I've seen this before and it was hard to connect them, obviously, Power Rangers and Starship Troopers. But it's like one of those things you obviously are able to connect way later. And I just always thought that was a really cool note. What's up, Jared Punch? How's it going? I remember only Power Rangers were Red was named Nick, and his dad was a bad guy. Oh, and Red Ranger named Nick. Oh my god, this is gonna bother me. Which one is named Nick? I'm trying to remember all of them, because that's not one of the early ones. Because it's Jason, Rocky, Tommy, TJ... Who's after Andros, Leo, I think after, no, hang on, who's Time Force? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember Time Force, because I know Carter is Lightspeed Rescue, Cole is Wild Force, is Nick, because Jack, I think Jack is SPD, right? Mystic Force? Yes, you're right. Okay. Dude, I'm serious. Like I haven't partaken in a while, but I'm actually really impressed with my Power Rangers lore. I haven't gone through Power Rangers in so long. I still remember a lot about it, dude. I love Power Rangers. It's so much fun. It's just such a fun, enjoyable series, and the energy around it is always really enjoyable. I know there's always stuff that's similar, but it's just a fun show. I am a couple seasons behind. I really want to get caught up again at some point. Oh yeah, because his dad was don't tell me. Hold on. Oh, the Wolf Knight. What is his name? Oh my god. He's fucking cool. That dude's a badass. What is the Wolf Knight's name? Oh. I remember that one because that one had a lot of Rangers. There was like the not the Solar Ranger. Was it the Solar Ranger? The one dude who came back, or the Solar Knight? He was really cool. I liked him and his genie weapon. I thought his was sick. Korag. I was literally about to Google it. Korag the Wolf Knight. That's his name. Or Night Wolf, whatever. He's fucking cool. He's just such a badass. And it's like, they didn't even do anything super crazy. Like, he just got the cool knight, like, armor. He did the sword and the shield. And it does so much. It just has an extra level of badassness to it. I rewatched only Mystic Force. The thing about Mystic Force is when they had the Dragonfire Red Ranger, that was so hype. Like he's got like the cool dual staffs, and like he's just chucking them, and he's flying around, blazing everything up. Yeah, Lianbo's his real name, but Korag, the Wolf Knight. What was the other guy's name though? Who was the Solar Knight? Let me try and Google it. It's been a long time. Solaris Knight, that was his name. I remember this guy, Daggeron. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he kind of a jerk when he first showed up? I remember him showing up and he was one of those guys because he's like more experienced and he like he just was like trying to do everything himself and he was like undermining the Power Rangers and stuff. Yeah, the Wolf Knight was really cool. You know who was cooler than the Wolf Knight though? Oh my god, what was his name in Wild Force? He became Merrick. What was his name? He has a really weird name. He showed up as the bad guy though for a while. Oh, he was the wolf dude. What was this character called? I'm looking it up. I'm trying to. It started with like a Z or some shit, or like an X or some shit. It was a really weird one. Zenaku. That was his name. That dude. Holy shit. If we're talking about edgy, on point bad guys, Zenaku. That guy, holy shit, he is a menace. Do you guys remember that guy? As he's got like a batleth blade. His Zords, it was like the wolf. It was the hammerhead shark. And I can't remember what the last one was, but his Zord was badass in general. And everything about this dude was just really cool. And then it's like he has the badass flute, so he's just looking mysterious and cool. And then when he turns back into when he becomes Merrick again, he's like this leather jacket biker badass who, obviously it's Power Rangers for the kids show in the comics, so they can't do as much. But he's like he's playing pool all the time, and he has Merrick has one of my favorite Power Rangers weapons where he has the pool cue, and he puts out that like laser grid that locks somebody in place, and then he puts the Wild Zord orbs on there, and he freaking breaks it like he's playing pool, and they just keep hitting each other and exploding until they reach him. Dude, that was so cool. That was awesome. I remember that. All Power Rangers better than power scaling skills. Power Rangers power scaling though is crazy. Like they have absurd power levels. I think I remember Battle Brawlers. That's a long time ago. I remember this person. I don't remember a single thing about the Power Rangers. Man, that's rough, dude. There's so many cool stuff. It's really funny because like there's a lot of really fun stuff. There's like so many things that's like you understand from a production standpoint. But it's because the Power Ranger shows are usually only like 2 seasons. Usually it's only around that 50 or so episodes that they're able to really have anything. So it's like it's very easy when they have a plotline that they pretty much drop. Because it's like Lightspeed Rescue, the first American original Ranger with the Titanium Ranger, he was barely in the show because they had so few. They just didn't record enough. So when it came to the other characters where they had all the stock footage from the Sentai, they didn't have that from the Titanium Ranger, and they just didn't want to record anything of it, which sucked. Made me real sad. Because like he was an original bad guy, and he was just so cool, and his suit was awesome as well. Anyway, I'm gonna call it good. I'll talk to you guys again. I'll try and have like I said, we'll do at least a stream a week. With Fairy Tail being on hiatus right now, we might switch it to the 2 streams a week. And expect me to put out the first Dragon Slaying video, I'd say within the next week. I'm going to do one on each one, but I got to do a general Dragon Slayer video. And then I might just do a video where I combine them all together to make it easier for people if they click it later. Or if they want to watch them individually. Do you think I should, real quick, in your opinion, do you guys think I should do a Dragon Slaying video all together, or if I should do them in separate ones where it's like you're gonna talk about 1st gen this week, 2nd gen next week, 3rd gen a week after that, or whatever? What do you guys think really fast? Do you think I should just do one Dragon Slaying video, or do you think I should do one, or like split ups for each kind? Mishima wrote we'd have a naked ranger. That'd be cool. Just somebody transparent setup, just be nude all the time. Yeah, I haven't decided for sure on it, but I was kind of just I'm like on the fence. But if like there's nobody like has any like set strong feelings, I don't think that's a big idea. I might do it all together. I kind of want to do it separate, but I think it'd work better if I just do it all together and then just kind of like add timestamps and stuff. You know, split up each of them. General Dragon Slayers, their weakness, the exceptions and stuff. Do them separately, but skip 4th gen. I'm not gonna skip 4th gen. 4th gen's just gonna be easy to do, but I think with 4th gen, it's gonna be a good chunk about talking about some of the ideas of 4th gen. But it's going to easily be the last one. Okay. I'll split them up if you guys really want to. And then when I finish them, I'll just do an edit where I combined all of them into a video. And then I'll upload that to where, if somebody doesn't want to click each of them, they can just go into that by itself. Anyway. Well, yeah, they're all different in their own ways. Somewhat. What I'll do is I'll mention any type that, there's in it. Oh, the 1st gen, we'll talk about fire and all these different ones. 5th gen, we'll talk about all the weird Diablos members. Just skip 4th gen. I'm not going to skip 4th gen. 4th gen will just be short, and I'll talk about stuff like, technically, is Urza's sword a 4th generation? Because it's an inanimate object with